11 of this product is left.
The date is April 1st, 2024. Looks like we got some more projects to do and, I wish that was my motorcycle. I'm done. I'm done with college and everything else that it throws at me.
But wait, I don't understand. Why is college the bad thing? I mean, little Jimmy has to look up to somebody for these awesome experiences that he's gonna have.
Yeah, okay, maybe awesome for him, but it definitely wasn't for me. What's that saying? That college isn't for everyone? And I'm one of those people.
You were just not applying yourself. You weren't using your time wisely, procrastinating all the damn time. You were too interested in drawing and making friends with other people that probably wouldn't add to your college experience at all.
To be perfectly honest, those were the best moments of my college experience. And still is even till this day.
Well, I don't get it. The meaning of the conversation that we're having is that you hate college.
No. Do not get me wrong. I don't hate college. I'm rather just upset with the air that surrounds college. You know, everybody passive-aggressively just wanting you to complete it. Or hell, even stay in it for as long as
it keeps your life on track, and it makes sure that you're on the right path.
Yeah, tell that to all the other people who actually completed college, got their bachelor's, and has to go back for their master's because they're—
Don't you say it!
Whether it be it's just a competitive job market to get into, or it's an extremely high prestigious law firm that won't take anybody with the littlest bachelor degree.
Why are you complaining about this? It's not like you have your bachelor's or anything. In fact, you don't even have your AAA.
It's just called an associate's degree. Why did you give it 3 A's? Anyways.
Well, hell, little Jimmy isn't depressed, and he's staying up nights on end because he really wants his bachelor's.
That's not a problem. He can do whatever he wants. I really don't care about little Jimmy. Again, I personally speak for myself. I don't want to sacrifice myself for college. Me personally, I'd rather sacrifice my time creating things, drawing things, making videos. And yeah, I know, stupid of me to think that my YouTube career would actually take off, but it's not even just a YouTube career. I would argue that there's a lot of fundamental things that I end up learning about myself. So far in my life, I've used YouTube for many different things that it's actually handled way better than school ever could. I was free to learn a lot of philosophy on YouTube. I was free to learn exactly how dieting worked on YouTube. And you don't need a degree in order to do these kind of things. I was better able to understand and study movies and art in a way that I don't think I could ever learn in school. And basically the main point that I'm trying to get across is that there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want to study different things at different times. Specifically when you're ready for it, that you're trying to gain knowledge about.
Wait, are you like autistic or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you know, little Jimmy is autistic too, and he's absolutely crushing it in his classes.
My brain is just not wired to follow within the college courses. Also too, I'm just getting way too old for school.
You can never be too old for school.
Hey, some people thrive. I'm different.
You're just trying to make yourself sound cooler. You're not different. You're just like everyone else.
Oh yeah, that's rich. It ain't cool to be different. Trust me, I know. Not sure if you're being a little too different, or if you should be the same as everyone else, or being the same as everyone else is a bad thing, so you need to be different in a certain way. Dealing with parents that have unrealistic expectations of you. Being an artist because I couldn't even deal with being with other kids because it'll always take time away from me actually being productive. Being the starter on 2 separate teams that are basically different sports. Back in high school, as I was being a top-tier student, you know, A's and B's, the whole shebang. Also, doing it the entire time during high school, that's not average. Being sure to emotionally detox yourself with a bunch of anime,
You're acting like you're the only kid that deals with all this.
I spent my entire high school experience basically sacrificing myself away for the sake of my parents. It got really bad even to the tail end, but it was the biggest lesson for me to not do anything for the sake of anyone else. And from that point, I was constantly trying to learn how do I take my life and take hold of it. Take the wheel, as they say, and just turn it in a direction that I want to turn it into.
Well, yes, that's fine and dandy and everything, but college does provide that kind of pathway. You don't have to stress over not knowing where you're going to turn the wheel.
Yeah, but I do want to stress about that. I don't want it to be automated or something.
Look at little Jimmy. He got his bachelor's, right? Look at him. Look at him over there. He got his bachelor's. And now he's headed off to his awesome job as a nurse. Isn't that exciting?
I don't know. I'm not really into being a nurse.
Well, he is. And look at him. He's making bank. Oh, wait. Okay, he just quit his job. Wait. Well, he's coming back to school so that he can strengthen his path.
11 of this product is left. Here at the Tree Hobby Studio, I am
I'm hanging on till the other side. I won't give up till the end of it.
Hello everyone, Mr. Blubberjack here today. Now before the video starts, make sure to like and leave a comment. I was genuinely surprised about the amount of support that the last video got, specifically about Sonic being unmarveled, as I will. These are character analysis videos. But either way, we're going to be talking about Tails today, or at least in his full name, Miles Tails per Hour. But truly, before we start, please subscribe to my channel. This is now what I will be doing for the remainder of, well, my entire channel existence. But, back onto the Orange Fox, Tails was always an interesting character at the very most. Back when Sonic 1 came out, it was only one player. So when the sequel naturally came out on a Sonic Tuesday, they planned for Sonic to have at least somebody alongside his journey. Mostly so that any kids who are playing the Sonic video game could have their little brother join alongside them. And this is when the idea of Tails the Fox came into play. His game mechanics were a little bit more unique compared to the original Mario and Luigi team up, and gameplay, since Sonic was super fast, he would normally outrun Tails a lot of the time. But no matter how much you would outrun the little bugger, he always finds a way to fly back on screen. Oddly enough, in Sonic 2 of 1992, when Tails was unveiled, he still wasn't able to fly, not until Sonic 3 of 1994. Yes, Tails could fly, but it was never controlled by the player until Sonic 3 came around, and this is when Knuckles also made his debut. Since they planned for Knuckles to be playable and be more interesting than Sonic, they gave him the ability to glide, which in that respect, they finally gave Tails the ability to fly on his own, in gameplay. This would essentially make Tails the easy mode of the game a lot of the times, and in gameplay made him a lot more capable of finding hidden secrets. Sonic's high-speed platforming gameplay is not too bad, but a lot of the times you can miss a lot of hidden details, which Tails is perfect for. He can fly over enemies and fly on top of platforms, including the fact that if he were to fall off a platform, he could always fly back on. Despite the fact that Tails isn't as fast as Sonic, he definitely can reach high places that Sonic could never touch himself.
My name's Tails, and I'm Sonic's very best buddy. Right, Sonic?
Correct.
With all the generators destroyed, we can blow this joint and head home. We did it, dude.
We? I don't remember you fighting off any insane robots.
True. Well, good job to you on inventing a translator that allowed us to speak to the aliens and figure out exactly what we needed to do so we weren't running around the park looking like idiots. Oh no, wait. That was me.
Good point. Either way, we can get out of this crazy place and go home.
Tails is the equivalent of that wide-eyed recruit. He definitely wears his emotions more on his sleeve versus Sonic the Hedgehog, who's usually stoic a lot of the times. But honestly, throughout the years, Tails has really grown into his own personality. Since Sonic is the leader of their duo, Tails has a reasonable respect for Sonic. But unlike in the past, where he would look up to Sonic and Sonic wouldn't make a single flaw, it was extremely pure in the sense that Sonic was always the rational adult that knew all the answers, and Tails was always the mindful kid, where you couldn't exactly pinpoint any of his insecurities unless you were looking really deep. But Tails takes after his brother, which in that right, throughout the franchise, grows extremely confident in himself. And even when Sonic's not there, he's still sure of Sonic's ability to not only protect him, but if Sonic ever was in danger, he knew exactly what he needed to do, and who he had to act like, Sonic the Hedgehog out of all people. But nowadays, it's a little bit more blatant about their relationship. No, I don't mean it in a weird way. I mean that a lot of the flaws of their dynamic and their relationship start to rise over the surface. Sometimes Sonic's cockiness and arrogance can cause him to rush into battle. And since Tails is a more rational thinker, always trying to make sure that he gets the grand scope of the problem at hand, Sonic just rushes into things a little too quickly. Back then, Tails was always aware that this was just the nature of Sonic, that basically danger is his middle name, but nowadays it ends up becoming more of a flaw, where in the back of Tails' mind, he starts to question his mentor. Now, it's not all bad. Sonic is not entirely naive to to his transgressions and openly tries to make good with Tails whenever anything happens. The emotional intelligence that Sonic shows nowadays is to make sure that he is there for his buddy, but he's also taking in consideration on how Tails feels in the moment, which in all honesty is a luxury in itself, because whatever Sonic goes through, Sonic just doesn't have the time to emotionally think about what's going on. The goal is extremely simple for Sonic: beat the big bad egg and have fun while doing it. But since Tails is more mindful and uses his brain a lot more, Tails is kind of used to being in the emotional state of the relationship. Whereas since Sonic is always leading, Sonic just never has any time to think. I'm not saying that Sonic doesn't care about emotion and has no emotion, but Sonic's understanding, in stark contrast to Tails, is that fulfillment for Sonic comes through action, but fulfillment for Tails comes through solving problems. Tails really desires to be more like Sonic, but sometimes finds his cognitive dissonance in the fact that him and Sonic don't think alike at all. Even if Tails may mirror it in some ways, especially with the occasional tease of Eggman, Tails is always going to be more interested in his psyche, especially the minds of others.
Chunkage contained. Thought you said Tails was picking flowers.
He was 2 minutes ago.
Tails' most obvious ability is the ability to fly. In the video games and gameplay, it always has a limit. But which abilities do we focus on the most? His physical attributes or his mental? Because in all honesty, they're both off the charts. And throughout the games, Tails makes an abundance of inventions that helps them on their journey. But adding on to the fact that he can fly, he could also fly with his airplane, which is known as the X-Tornado. What was originally Sonic's plane is now Tails. And even though Sonic could fly it on his own, Sonic isn't smart enough in order to actually mechanically make it better. So Tails is always constantly upgrading it. Now, Tails is a lot of the times rescued by Sonic, but yet again, there is a minority of times where Tails is put in that spotlight. But when it comes down to it, when Tails is able to maximize his full potential, he's actually something that can be quite much a threat. Much bigger of a threat than Eggman. Even if Tails was really able to stretch his brain, he could become extremely way more powerful than Sonic. The Sonic Prime series was the biggest contributor that actually focused on a plot like this. This was a plot where Tails became a little bit more emotionally unstable and a little bit more emotionally insecure, but of course Tails couldn't follow all the way through with it as far as taking over Sonic's world and absolutely destroying Sonic, because at the core of Tails he always has that emotional center, that heart. But simply in my eyes, the purpose of Tails is to have an understanding that you're always growing and you're always seeking new opportunities. The journey never ends, and those you look up to are starting to figure it out themselves. Don't place anybody on a pedestal, but it's not bad either to admire the traits in others that you do find endearing. Just make sure to be secure in your ability to grow, and you'll be fine.
Saved the day! You're the best!
I did it all by myself!
As far as anything is considered, when it comes to Tails' dream,
Even though Tails' goal is to basically be Sonic's equal, I'm pretty sure Tails is comfortable being exactly who he is. Now, I don't mean that he wants to stay stagnant forever in his life, but I'm pretty sure we all can see that he's come a long way since those old Genesis days. In all honesty, I believe that Tails always wants to improve and always wants to be better. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure a small portion of his mind, he always does want Sonic to always lead the fight. Because the way that I see it is that Tails wants to improve himself for Sonic's sake. He wants to fight side by side with the best. And despite the fact that Tails can't separate his identity from Sonic, personally, I don't think that's a problem. Because Sonic is the source of where all of his growth comes from.
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a fae?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all the voice actors' names, but I could at least single them out by the very video game that they star in. With that being said, the Sonic OVA version of Tails sounds like he has a dry nose. I mean, geez, Lou, is it cold or what? And as much as I love the Sonic Set AM series, not gonna lie, when you have an actual kid playing as a kid, it's distracting. Yeah, I know that sounds ludicrous, but there's just a weird amateurish feeling about it that I never get used to. But as far as the 4Kids voice actress, this was the Tails that I grew up with, but this is also the kind of Tails that confused a lot of people. Mainly at the time, this is when people thought that Sonic and Shadow were actually related, and a lot of people thought that Tails was a girl. No, he's not a girl, he's a young boy. Don't you hear it in the voice? It's got a hick in the voice. But now when I come back to the voice after hearing the 2010 voice actress, Kate Higgins, oh boy, I cringe because I can now hear it. But the current voice for Tails nowadays, even though it's constantly switching a lot of the times throughout the movies, is ideal for at least how Tails should sound. Honestly, Tails has grown into something that I really cherish and like, because as the years go on, Tails becomes just way more efficient. While in the beginning stages, he may have been rocky and barely getting his steps, nowadays he's a triple threat that honestly seems to get better and better with each release.
This well-thought-out concern.
Whenever there's a crisis, running away or standing on the sidelines, you will always rescue me when all I do is follow you around.
Who wasn't to stop Eggman from blowing up Station Square, huh? Who broke me out of prison or saved me from the deadly Six's trap?
Then I'm wildly
fly with your butt. It's okay if you still need help sometimes. It's just part of growing up.
What's the point of fighting my way up the mountain when someone else is just going to come up the easy way?
There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way. But that should not stop you from doing things the right way. It is your journey, young warrior. Only you decide when it ends.
This is going to be my last page of Fruits of Labor. This is March 29th, 2024. This comic is now 4 years old, and it is at 240 pages. And I'm ending it now because I have this weird feeling that I will never end it. which is kind of literally, quite literally the case. But also too, I want a finished book that I can just sell to people. I just wanted to thank everyone for buying Fruits of Labor and continuously being inspired and inspiring me to continue to sell it. This will pretty much just be the last time that I make it into a book series, at least with the canon that I have. But either way, that's pretty much that. 11 of this product is left. Here at the Tree Hobby Studio, I am selling, drumroll please,
Get the fucking moving, dog. Just get fucking daddle. Get the fuck out of here. Kick fucking rocks. Hey, young boy.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
Oh, that is so weird. What? The Melancholy Star series? It's strange. Why am I... It's a Melancholy Star video. Why am I using my actual voice and not the AI voice? It's kind of strange. I hope the majority of people enjoy the Melancholy Star series. It's also kind of strange because, well, I use the AI voice because it just matches the kind of character that I want to represent. But give it a few videos, people start to simp over this character. And now I understand why a lot of girls look down on a lot of guys when it comes to the dating market. Whoop-de-doo. But either way, I want to make this a series. I want to do it in a way where you are able to basically, it's either talk to the character or about a certain topic or whatever, and then maybe it goes into a review, maybe it comes out of a review of a certain anime, basically. But essentially, with this character, I want to do it in a playlist kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure the YouTuber Markiplier, this is totally different. But either way, to explain the basic concept, it's just where you're basically an active participant in the video experience. So she's going to say something, then you're going to get the option to basically at the end of the video, click whatever pathway that you want to take. But I definitely am going to sneak in like a certain niche of probably just talking about Lucky Star. I noticed that one pops off no matter which channel I upload that one on. So who knows, it might just be that I might find some creative way to have her talk about other animes, but for the main gist of it, it's going to probably be more based on Kyoto animation kind of stuff. And even then, I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to play into that. I'm going to totally abuse my art in the way where I probably might just get clicks from how attractive she looks. I'm going to abuse it. Hey, if these OnlyFans chicks can, you know, sell their assets on the computer screen, then so can I, but not in that sense, but more in an artistic sense. Does that sound PG enough? Nah, I can't. Either way, that's pretty much it. So, I hope you enjoy watching the Melancholy series, and I hope you guys have an awesome day, and get excited for whatever else I might create. See you guys later.
I pushed the wrong one. Oh my god!
Alrighty, I am recording this for the second time. Hopefully I get everything in one shot. But either way, Fruits of Labor. This is my webcomic, and it originated as a webcomic, and it's not going to be a webcomic anymore. I have completed the story, at least to my own satisfaction, and I'm ready to turn it into something that can basically benefit the YouTube channel. I want to make really good, interesting content with these characters, and I want to do something to where it is going to be an attention grabber. I want it to have the same energy as an abridged series, but I also want it to utilize the same thing that I use for the Melancholy Star segments, where the characters are basically still models that can express themselves in a multitude of different ways, but instead, it's actually a little bit more animated. So within the series, I've lined it up this way. Rontu is the cartoon guy, so he would then be reviewing cartoons. Madison would then be reviewing movies, and Maurice would then be reviewing video games. And since a lot of these things do cross over with each other, no matter what the series or genre or media is, then, you know, rightly, there are some episodes where they may play a bigger part in, and some episodes where they may play a lesser part, depending on the character, depending on the topic, depending on the actual thing that these characters are going to be reviewing. I would just make it a point to have extremely more lengthier episodes of this, lengthier reviews, but, you know, have these characters animated. And also, too, this way that I want them animated also works for shorts as well, proven with Melancholy Star, although I probably am very much aware that whomever is watching this already is subscribed and already, you know, likes my content and, you know, eats it away, because whenever I talk about my original stuff, it doesn't hit the algorithm as hard, but who knows, maybe I might use an interesting thumbnail, who knows. Either way, that's pretty much it, so subscribe and comment and like.
11 of this product is left. Here at the Tree Hobby Studio, I am selling, drumroll please, my comic/graphic novel, Fruits of Labor. I started it back in 2020 of March, and ever since I've just kept writing it. Its length isn't contingent on plot, rather character. Our main character is Rontu. He represents the sun in the sense that he brings the dawn wherever he goes, joys and smiles, but he's also as powerful as the sun. His sister Madison represents the earth. She's able to manipulate water and plants. Then you have their cousin Maurice. He represents the duality of the moon. He doesn't exactly have powers, and it's not exactly clear if he's a good guy or a bad guy. They're all on a journey to find their mother Haigochi, who is somewhere in the world that I've created, the Sandy Way, a giant sea of quicksand in space, inhabiting planets and other cultural social structures. I'm selling this graphic novel for $60, but that's because it comes included with a bunch of other stuff that I have. The beginning to the second half of the story, a bunch of bookmarks with my characters on them, so that you're never lost while you're reading this massive thing. And finally, all of the stickers that I have. Every purchase basically includes all of this. Direct message me if you're ever interested, and I also accept Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.